the W with a big 5-game card up there. They give us, we'll say hello to Cappers. Hey, Ryan, what's happening?
No, not too much. Definitely pretty good Monday Night Football game. I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. Big trouble now. Quarterback tryouts, I guess, because I don't know what you're doing. What was Tua even thinking leading with your head into that play? You got over the first down line, you slide. Is that how many years have you hit in the NFL? Slide, so you don't get hit. But you want to lead with your head? What are you thinking? Down 31, it was 31-10 at that point too, I believe, or 24-10 at that, or 24-3. Well, either way, they were down big, and he's leading with his head. It's like, just I don't get it. Definitely not using your head there in Miami for Tua. So big troubles there. Buffalo's got the win. It's been Dolphins kryptonite for years. It's been the Buffalo Bills, and we took the winner on that one. Nice plus money winner. And I knew the Bills were going to win. I'm a Dolphins fan. How can you not? I've seen it year after year after year that Allen comes in and beats us down, and Tua just throws the picks and then looks lost.
Whoever's there, not just Tua, all of them.
No,
it's all of them. He wasn't there for all of them.
Tannehill.
No matter.
Oh my God, that's the rumble out in Miami now. Is Tannehill's going to make his return? I've seen posts. People are like, "We want Tannehill. We want Tannehill." I'm like, "Oh no."
He's a hell of an athlete. He's a hell of an athlete, dude. Didn't even play quarterback in college.
No, exactly right. Hell of an
athlete. He's a real good wide receiver for Texas A&M.
He's just been playing possum, saying, I'm gonna wait for my best spot. I don't know how long you're gonna wait. We're already into week 3. So
he'll be back there. He can be a game manager.
Maybe I'll do it like a Joe Flacco. Flacco's out there too, right?
Flacco's out there too. I seen that. I was like, that's
Flacco's not out there. Did he get cut? Flacco's in Indiana.
No, he's in Indiana. That's right. He is. I was thinking he was out there. That's right.
You're the Colts.
He's still with the Colts, yeah.
He's still with the Colts, so they signed him? I thought he was still free agent, right? I thought they didn't want to bring him in.
Oh, he was in the preseason, man. He's behind.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He is behind Richardson.
Who can't run? Who can't decide it? He doesn't know how to run in the NFL. He's probably going to get blasted again.
Yeah.
But hey, the thing I look at with Tua, dude, it's like Lindros. After he got his concussions, that guy, skating straight up, trying to skate fast. What the fuck was he thinking? Yeah. He should have been in a protected position every time he was on the ice when he didn't have the puck or it was coming his way, knowing one more hit and you're done. You know what I mean? You should have changed your style. He could have still been, to me, he was the best hockey player. I mean, outside of Gretzky. But the fun to watch, as big as he was, the funnest hockey player for me to watch, and I'm not a big fan, was Lindros. There was no doubt about it when he was in his prime, man. I loved watching him.
Big beast. He was. It's sad that he got hit the way he did early, but he didn't. We've seen a few players that come in young.
Yeah, you got to protect yourself, man.
And all of a sudden, just boom, it's a train wreck.
Emmett Smith, Walter Payton, Franco Harris, just some of those guys are awesome at not getting hit. You know what I mean?
And not getting hit. Yeah.
Is there something to say about that? You can glance off.
That's why I give Kelsey some props, because those tight ends are big targets. They usually catch the ball.
Yeah, you don't get hit hard. You never see him get by.
And these guys, these corners come in full speed and hit these guys like Gronkowski. Man, some of these tight ends take a beating because they catch the ball in open field and they get hit from defenders running at full speed. So that's a tough.
Yeah, but you never see Kelsey get decapitated. Well, he's got a great quarterback too. I mean,
he doesn't put him in that position. Yeah, he doesn't get put. He doesn't get put in that position. That's the key to the whole situation.
Yeah,
your totals bettors. Yes, for your totals bettors yesterday, that Arizona State Texas State game was 28-all. You were going to wonder, was it going to be a touchdown? Was it going to be a field goal? No overtime, and boy, that ended at right at 59.
Well, I fell asleep. I saw 60s out. I saw 60s out there. So
yeah, it came down to 58.
It came down to 58. Yeah, it opened 60 and a half and slowly worked its way. Kept coming down.
Because the whales out there, the middle. They'll take that crap. They don't care if they lose 10%.
After the show,
that middle doesn't matter if it's on a total or a side, makes your money. I knew a guy right out of college was doing it.
Yep.
He graduated with me here in Vegas, because he had deep pockets.
Yep.
So they're out there.
They're out there. All right, guys, let's get to the game today. We'll start with the college football. We got a couple teams. We got a conference game from the Big 12. We got out of conference. We'll talk about these two. So let's get started with the college football rundown here. We'll go with two games here. today. I was watching that South Alabama game day yesterday, which I thought was crazy. But anyway,
what happened with that, Rod? I had your phone number. I'd have called you last night. They had 35 points in the first quarter.
They put up 87.
Huh?
They put up 87.
I haven't heard anything yet, but they invoked.
I think they heard you yesterday.
They did, right? That's probably exactly what happened. But
No,
the other team, they didn't play the last 9 minutes of that fourth quarter. So, out the books state where they say that the game must go 55 minutes.
Yeah,
and if it doesn't go 55 minutes,
mercy rule.
What's going to happen, right? Well, because they invoked the mercy rule. They didn't even play the last 9 minutes.
They played last time. They had put 87 points. After they put up 87, they said
makes it less than 55 points. So
this might get to 100.
Pretty cool, and maybe not honor your little bet there. So
I don't know if you guys remember this. It was quite a long time ago, but it was Rebels versus Wisconsin.
Oh yeah,
there was big money on the play, and someone turned off the lights to the stadium. Under 55 minutes.
Sounds like what the Boston Bruins did playing the Oilers in the Stanley Cup Final. They were losing bad. They were down 3-1 in the series in that final game, and we're getting pantsed, and they turned the lights out in that one too in Boston.
I think that might see that. That was my take on that one. It was not a casino. It was probably a big time local bookie would have done that.
Vegas. Yeah, we were sitting there shaking our heads. We were leaving the stadium going, "Oh man, this is not going to go well."
No. All right, so let's get to these here. We saw actually see a big line move. UNLV Kansas from the opener 7 to 9, 9.5. Arizona and Kansas State as well. We'll start here with Rod.
Yeah, you look at that. We'll look at the UNLV Kansas game, and this is a big revenge spot for UNLV from last season. And UNLV is off to a good start. You look at Kansas, and they're off to a good start as well. But 0-2 against that number for me. And when you dig deep into this game, 9.5 seems like almost like they're handing you the keys to UNLV. This one, when you come back head to head, it was 49-36. Last year for Kansas in that one, back on was it Christmas Day or Boxing Day? Boxing Day in that game, I believe it was. And Kansas was favored by 8 in that one. Total at 65. Total's down at 57 now, 58. I think we get the same kind of thing. I think defenses don't play a whole lot of big deal in this game. I like the over. I think we see plenty of scoring like we did last year, 49-36. Maybe not as high a scoring game. But we see that UNLV offense can definitely move the football. Kansas can move the football. Give me the over with a lead to UNLV in that one.
There from Rod. All right, we move on over to Jorge.
Oh, you're a gentleman and a scholar for laying off that and going on to the total there, Rod. I'll take it. And there's some big mismatches in this game, and a big difference is, right, the revenge is huge. And it's not just because they lost the game, it's how they lost the game. Kansas came in with the nasty attitude. There's a lot of flagrant fouls. Cheap shots on the receivers, Ricky White, and the Rebels defense bringing back all their key players plus the safety that played over at Texas and Arkansas. So they're deeper on defense this year, hitting the ball or hitting when hitting the carrier, hitting whoever it is. Excuse me, guys. It's a big difference from the defense last year on the Rebels, so they've much improved. Conversely, Kansas lost their offensive coordinator, went up to a Penn State team that had trouble moving the ball that last year, especially throwing it. They're ranked 10th in the country. Kansas has lost throwing the ball. It's probably why they ended up losing last week. They have a new offense going there. They said they're going to be more run heavy. I think that plays to the advantage of the Rebels in that spot. Daniels just has not looked the same. There's no more talk about Heisman after the way he's played in the last 2 games. The big difference here in the Rebels is the offense. Their offensive line got better. Kansas has to replace their entire defensive line. And that's going to be a huge factor in this game. The Rebels are not going to – Sluka's just not there yet. He came from Holy Cross. He's had some propensity to throw some turnovers into coverage against Division I teams. The Rebels, they have 2 Outland Trophy candidates on their offensive line. Only 1 player, 300 pounds for Kansas. So – definitely a lean to the Rebels right now. Plus 10, absolutely. Hopefully this team will keep going, guys. I don't think these are bettors doing this line move. Started off 6.5, 7 to 10. How would you like that middle? 7 to 10. The fact of where it's at right now, every syndicate out there wants to put enough money on this to get that to 10, 10 and a half. You know, and let's see what happens. If it was Billy Walters back in the day, he'd pump that to 10 and a half, not 10. You know, I've sat in the sports book that's at the Stardust. I used to watch the lottery in the morning before there was internet books. Tony, I don't know if you ever got to experience or see that. That was just wild. All the runners would come in half hour before the odds would go up at the Stardust, Rod. And you got to come in with $5,000, and you got to play at least $5,000. You got to bet at least 1,000 a game. They'd give you the first numbers, and then those guys would make their bets, and they'd adjust them, and then release them at 8:30. That's how the numbers used to be set back in the day.
The line.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when I say that, I don't say that just because I'm a conspiracy theory guy. No, I've sat there and watched it. I've seen what these guys do. I've seen how they can move numbers. I don't care if it's just Vegas anymore or on the internet. It's still the same thing. When you start seeing that, if the public moves it, they'll move it more. Maybe the public jumps on it saying, oh, wow, UNLV sucks. They'll kick it to 10 and a half, and then they'll double what they've wagered going on it the other way. That's why you see those lines. When you see a bounce back at the end of a line, that's why I love the late steam so much. Dude, that's the middle. I mean, there's just nothing else to explain that. Anyway, I think that's happening in this game, guys. But anyway, there's a lot of key factors.
And also, too, Ori, that used to happen on the radio, where you would have these radio shows with these quote unquote, high-profile cappers would go on there, and these games that would be around key numbers, they would push it across the key number, and they would bet the other side themselves.
No cappers ever moved a number. I've had guys I've been around, Rod. They're all full of shit. I don't know a single handicapper who could ever move a number. I don't know a handicapper who could that much, Tony. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Are there cappers that were fed information because they were getting plays from guys in syndicates?
Yeah.
That were bookies themselves? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good difference. Okay. Those guys are dealing with private bookies and they're in the game. They're just selling picks. They're taking bets. Yeah, so that's a little bit different. That's part of the betting world, man. That's not part of the capping world. So it did happen, but it wasn't them, if that makes sense. I'm not disagreeing with you. I won't mention names. I knew someone that used to do it at one of the websites before. He'd call all his cappers and tell them, be high on this game, and then it would come the other way. Happened to be I, but I won't mention no name. We'll leave it at that. Kansas not playing on their home field, guys. Big, that home field advantage. The college thing, I mean, they're going to still be there, but is it going to be the same? No, it's on a soccer field. So a couple of points being taken here, back and forth, and we'll see what happens. I'm not so sure on the over. I wish I could have got started. I'm feeling old today. Can't stop the burping. But a little bit on the over, guys. I think it's to the under because Kansas is throwing the ball more. Their new offensive coordinator says, hey, we're going to run it more at a fast pace. The Rebels run it more at a fast pace. Throwing's not good for either team. If it's 57, I'm not sure I'd jump on it, but I wish I'd had it at 60. Lean to the under in this one. Jump to the – are we on the second game yet?
Yeah, we're on the second. We're doing all the ones. Yeah, second game.
Okay. Yeah. Arizona's just not themselves right now, guys. I did a little research. I dug in on it. They're going to play a Kansas State team that has a great quarterback who's actually a running quarterback learning not to run. He'll scramble and then look downfield. So he's got his NFL game going a little bit. I don't have his name right off the bat.
Avery Johnson?
Avery Johnson, yes. All of a sudden, this guy's starting to not have – and that makes him dangerous, right? If he's looking downfield when he scrambles, now your spy can't even do it. He's got to pick. Now your spy's got to gamble, right? Does he pick up that guy in the flat, or does he get the quarterback? So then now he can break it, at least get a first down at any given time. He's playing well. Arizona, center, two offensive players out on the line. Their best player is the center. He's questionable. Star running back, ineligible. 0-11 last week on third downs. He's getting pressured. It's not that the quarterback's not good. Doesn't have time. I think if Kansas State sees what happened last week, they should probably blitz him repeatedly if it's not first down, or maybe on every down. If the line is that bad, have 5 guys in his face. You know what I mean? That won't leave him any room to do anything. I'm not completely on this game. I'd love a 6.5, but I might have a play on it later. Again, as we get some steam guys moving left or right, but a lean to the -7 just because Kansas State doesn't list one injury.
All right, I'll tell you what I think about that. I'm going to look at this game, Arizona, Kansas State. Let's remember, guys, this is a conference game. Arizona's now in the Big 12. Kansas State's in the Big 12. And Kansas State's not the favorite, around the second, third favorite to win that conference behind Utah. So a very important game for Kansas State as they're in the mix here for possibly the Big 12 title game when we get later as we move later in the season. But for me, it's that experienced defense from Kansas State. As Jorge mentioned about the Arizona's issues on offense, to me, it's the Kansas State defense at home here. And also, too, a little bit by Arizona. I know that game was wild when they played New Mexico, but it was kind of close early on. Both points put up by both teams, and Arizona pulling away late. I don't like the fact that they gave up 5 yards to carry to the Lobos on the ground. And you know what Kansas State likes to do. Like they like to beat you up at the point of attack and get those running plays in there. That sets them up offensively for throws downfield. So I'm going to look here at Kansas State laying the points. They're running for nearly 8 yards to carry, and they're holding team to 2.5. Kansas State will be the one I like out of these two. All right, we'll continue here on the 26 Point Show. Before we get to the wait a minute, it's not a conference game officially. Okay, I stand corrected if that's the case. They are both in the Big 12. Maybe this was a non-conference game.
You know, it was already scheduled, but it's got to be a conference. It has to be a conference game. They're both in the conference. It was not scheduled as a conference game. There wasn't a whole lot of clarity on that, but I think they have to consider it a conference. Okay, Tony, is what the author said that I read. But you're right. It was already on the books, but it has to. They're both in the conference. How could it not be a conference game?
Yeah, I don't know. I know Army Navy is not a conference game, but they play after all the a week from after
really?
all the college. Yeah, they're not a conference game. That's what I read about. All right,
that's got to be a TV contract deal though. That's different. You know, they do that Army Navy game at the end of the year. There was always an independent. They play on that neutral field. That's got to be a contract issue. But
let's see here, Kansas State conference game. Let's see.
Sure looks like a conference.
Well, yeah, it does because at the same time.
They're both in the Big 12.
I understand.
Well,
it may have been one of those. It may have been one of those non-conference games set up before the change here. So
you know, for TV rights, guys, for TV, I bet you TV rights trumps any move after the contract was after the realignment.
Yeah.
They don't give a crap about the fans, bro. They don't give a crap about us.
Yep.
They don't. All they care about is their TV advertising dollar. They don't care about the team. They don't care about us.
That really didn't mean a lot. Whether it's a conference game or not, that didn't really factor much in my cap of this game anyway. It was really coming in with the experience with Kansas State's defense, and again the site location, first year coach, first game on the road. That's how I'll look at it. All right. Before we get to baseball and WNBA, let's get a quick promo for guys. Rod, what do you got for sale over at Tony's Picks? Head to a big weekend here of college football, NFL.
Yeah, for me over at Tony's Picks, big card today. It's Friday, so it's Snake Friday. I got 5 plays over there. Mixed board. We got some MLB and some college football and some WNBA. So definitely heading over. Grab that 5-pack. Nice winning day yesterday. Looking to continue that heading into the weekend. Your better deal is to grab that 3-day pass and join in for the weekend. You get Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, I've got Monday's plays thrown in there as well. So you'll basically get 4 days for the price of 3 when you scoop up that 3-pack, 3-day pass over at Tony's Picks. Jump aboard, join me for a big, massive weekend. And we have at least 22 football plays between college football and the NFL between Saturday and Sunday. So definitely jump aboard there. Definitely some nice money-making weekend loading up here at Tony's Picks.
Big weekend. Jorge, what do you got for sale?
Let's see. I got I found one of my weather games that I like. And it's not always that the ball's blowing out of the stadium, you know, at 10, 20 miles, 20, 30 miles an hour. I just found one that fits a perfect circumstance. So I'm releasing that as one of my baseball totals. I just haven't been that good on coming back this year and jumping into baseball halfway. I've been a lot better on the totals on the side. So I'll stick with that. I got that release. Of course, I'm going to put some football plays out a little bit later today. Probably going to be some late steam action. I'm trying to get that routine down. I just can't do the 2 hours, guys. I have it at 3 hours. It doesn't seem like that line jumps like right in that window, but those are for guaranteed picks, guys. Folks out there, and look, we saw this line move on UNLV in Kansas, which is a perfect example. Yeah, there's great value getting it early, but sometimes the lines don't move that early. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's why I think it's such a great idea for Tony to step out and actually make a late steam selection and not miss out on that value when the line moves. That's a great feature that we have over here at Tony's Picks.
That's right, guys. I got a best bet on the board right now for Major League Baseball. And best bet runs have been doing well here this week, so get on board. Remember the promo code TonyT at checkout will knock 15% off all premium pick packages. And of course, all one-day passes, profit guaranteed, meaning the month's earned profit for the amount purchased will be credited back to account for site credits. That's profit guarantee. Let's continue here on Tony this morning's show. Let's get to the baseball here as we're winding. Well, we got a few weekends left baseball before we get to the postseason. So let's get started here with the games. All right, on this slate of games, we're going to look at Mets Phillies. That's a series there, right? Orioles Tigers, Royals and Pirates. We'll start with Rod.
Yeah, that's a big series there. We'll go with that one first. The Mets and the Phillies. Jose Quintana on the mound for the Mets. You know what? He's been dealing. His last 3 starts, he's got an ERA below 1 and looking real good. On the other side of the bump, Aaron Nola on the bump for the Phillies in that one. And his last couple starts, well, he's definitely got hit around. He's given up 13 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 home runs. And you're going to get the Mets at a nice plus 140? I got to take the Mets there in that one, even with Quintana on the mound. Bassett and hot. I think this is almost a must-win series for the Mets if they want to have a good playoff run here. So I got to go with the Mets and the big plus price. Quintana's been dealing, so give me the Mets there. And what was that? Was it Baltimore, Detroit, or did we go Miami, Washington?
We went Baltimore. Yeah, we went Baltimore, Detroit, and then
Kansas City, Pittsburgh, right? Yeah. I still haven't seen a starter listed for this KC team.
Yeah, there's one.
What I'm showing here is Alec Marsh probable.
Yeah, so if March is pitching, I'll take the Pirates there in that one. Ortiz in the mound. His last couple starts look pretty good. 1-1, 1.53 ERA. So got to go with the Pirate lead to the Pirates in that one. But looking at Baltimore taking on Detroit, you look Eflin on the mound for Baltimore, and I just thought it was Zach Eflin guy. He's come over, and when he has come over, he's been solid. Give him that. He goes 5 innings, 6 innings, 7 innings. He's won 5 of the last 6 starts he's had. I just don't see it here. I think this Detroit team, their bats can get to him. Looks like Detroit probably going with the bullpen game, but it's one of those games that Detroit needs these wins. It's a battle, playoff battle there for trying to get in. Detroit's only a few games back of Baltimore, and Baltimore just hasn't looked good. So for me, I got to go with Detroit and the plus money there in that one.
Yeah, from Jorge. We now go to Jorge.
All right, guys. This will be my last little segment. I'm just not feeling well, man. My throat is just dying, killing me right now. So I'm just going to finish up these games right here. I'm going to take some medicine. But before we do go, I did have my play up. Man, Philly and New York, I got to go under on this game. Both these guys are playing extremely well. Nola, I can't pick on Nola, man. Come on, he had one bad game. One bad game.
Nola.
Not Nola. Yeah, you did pick on him. But both these guys have been pitching well, man. And both of them are 8-2. They both want to be in the playoffs. I know you're trying to find a side there. You can pick whatever side you want. I mean, it's pretty even, Steven. And you want to go with the value, go with the value. I mean, there's no shame in that. As a matter of fact, as much as I like the value, I just always feel that this is the time of year for the Phillies, right? Their roster is built for the playoffs. So I think it's 2 good pitchers on the mound. I think it's going to be playoff intensity, so I'll take under 8.5 runs in this one. Pittsburgh, Kansas City offense hasn't been doing much. Actually, it's been pretty dismal. I think they're averaging 3.3 runs a game over the last 10. Pittsburgh, they're gamers, man. You just never know what you're going to get out of them. I'm just going to go. Ortiz has been a stud all year long. Last 3, 4, 5 starts last year. Name doesn't come up, obviously, because he got Skeens over there, but all he's done is have a 3.26 all year long, consistently. It doesn't seem like he throws a no-hitter, but it doesn't seem like he gets bombed ever. So going to lean a little bit to the Pirates on that one. And with Baltimore and Detroit, God, man, this is a tough game. Almost probably going to do a pass on this one. Not knowing who's really pitching for Detroit. As much as Detroit's got to win this, Baltimore wants to win the division. You know what I mean? All they got to do is go on a hot streak here as the Yankees have been up and back. So I will pass on this one, guys. That is just, plus $1.25. The only way, not knowing who the pitcher is, if I knew who the pitcher was and it was at least decent, I'd go with the plus 125. Pass until I know who that pitcher is.
All right. So what I think about this one, it shows probable Herder for Detroit. We'll see if Herder goes, but Eflin has been solid. Eflin over his past 5 starts, ERA under 2, but that whip does 0.94. And if Herter goes, he's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 straight. The Detroit bullpen's in really good form. Orioles hitting just 199 over their past 7. I'll look at the under in that one, Baltimore and Detroit. Mets and Phillies, yeah, I'll take that plus price with the Mets here. The Mets have been a pretty good road underdog at this price point, plus 125 to plus 175, returning 10 units, 10 and 4. Both bullpens in good form. Quintana past 3 starts, 1 earned run allowed in 18. So I'll take the Mets in that spot. Royals and Pirates. If it is March, even though it's March here, I'll look at the KC in that spot. Ortiz ERA over 4.27 the past 7. Both bullpens are struggling over the past 10. KC, though, here against these losing teams, 10 and 13 on the road against losing teams are past 13. I'll look at KC in that spot. All right, let's continue on here on the Tony's Fixed Morning Show as we get ready here for the next series of games here. And the ones we'll be looking at here will be the Marlins and Nationals, Red Sox, Yankees, Cardinals, and Blue Jays. We start off here with Rod.
Good luck, guys. I'm going to bounce up.
All right, we'll see it.
We'll go on, all right. And this one here, well, Boston and the Yankees will look at, and look, Mark Schmidt is back, and he looked real good in his first start back. I'll give it to him. I thought he was going to be roughed up, but he looked good in his first start back. Went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, only 1 walk, no earned runs, and that turned into a 2-0 win for the Yankees. So I think he goes a little deeper. He pitched 75 pitches, so they'll increase his workload there. He probably try to get him to go 5-6 innings in that one. Versus Boston. They had pitchers duel last time, 2-1 in that one. Boston, Tanner Houck gets the start here for Boston in this one. And over his last 3, he hasn't been good. 0-2, 5.29 ERA on the road. He's got an ERA over 3. He's definitely 50-50. But over his last, 7 starts, Boston's only got 1 win. Actually, even more than that. You can go his last 9 starts, Boston's only got 1 win for Tanner Houck. So this Yankees team, it's that time of year, and you don't have to lay a whole pile at only $1.50. I like the Yankees here to get to Houck. I'm going to even lay the run line. I think the Yankees can get to Boston. They won 2-1 yesterday. I think we see a little more scoring in this one. A little more on the Yankees side. Take the Yankees on the run line in that one. And then you look at the Rays taking on the Guardians.
We had St. Louis.
Too far. My bad. I'm jumping too far. My bad. Jumping too far. Jumping the slot. We're going to look at the Marlins taking on Washington. There's your babyface.
Yes, babyface. Yeah.
Babyface Hers is getting the start today, but he's going up against Edward Cabrera on the mound. And Cabrera's been solid for the Marlins. He looked great last time out, and the Marlins got the win. So I like a pitcher's duel in this one. Cabrera and Hers can duel it out early. Give me the under first 5 between the Marlins and Washington. I think it's the first of 3 wins that game. Low scoring 1. Both pitchers have been solid in that one. So I like the under there. And the other one was the Cardinals and the Blue Jays, eh?
Yep. Yeah, Cardinals, Blue Jays.
Cardinals, Blue Jays. You know what? Give me the Blue Jays. Anytime I see Fetty on the mound, I just got to go the other way. He hasn't been good since he's come over to St. Louis. He's been beat up pretty good. But the problem, he doesn't get enough run support. St. Louis team, you look at all these losses: 6-1 loss, 6-3 loss, 3-2 loss, 4-1 loss. Just the Cardinals not getting enough run support. Fetty hasn't been horrible. I've seen some pitchers that have been way worse. But Toronto, after they're just in that spot. They're playing loose. Nothing to lose. The scary part is that bullpen. So give me the Blue Jays in the first 5. I think they can get to Fetty and have the lead going into 5 after that. But I don't want to ever bet the Blue Jays full game for a while. That bullpen is definitely murderous. We've seen when Bobby Francis was up, they were up 1-0. He gave up the home run to make it 1-1, and then they pulled up and the bullpen came in, and they lost the game. What was 6-3 was the final?
Yeah, they went over. Yeah, all the underbets.
Like, how did this game go over? The over better going, thinking you were dead, and then the under guy going, oh yeah, cruising in the win of this one. And then it's not Blue Jays bullpen is painful. So give me the Blue Jays first 5.
Yeah, from Rod, I'll tell you, baby Hurst. I got, excuse me a second here. with Babyface Hurts got it back. I'm here in this spot. I mean, he's allowed 200 runs or fewer in 7 or 8. In Miami, as we said, they finally got one yesterday, but they're now 4-21 on the road against left-handed starters. They don't hit lefties very well, losing 14.5 units. That's on the road. That number is there. So I'll take Washington in that spot. Red Sox and Yankees. Yeah, I'm with you there, right on the Yankees in this spot. I mean, again, it's the Red Sox bullpen. And who they got? Alex Cora is on the MLB morning show. I guess they're out in New York, so you got to get up early and go to the show there. So I don't know about that. But anyway, Hawks had some issues over his past 3 starts, 10 earned runs and 17-8. Schmidt's been solid. I know he's come back from his ailment, but even before he got hurt, he was doing well. He's allowed 200 runs or fewer in 5 straight starts. And again, it's that Red Sox bullpen I'm worried about. And against these really good home run hitting teams, at average 1.25 home runs per game or greater, the Red Sox 6-13, so that they have trouble against home run hitting teams. And it is Cardinals, Blue Jays. Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy and take the Blue Jays here in this spot. Again, it's Fetty in his past 4 road starts, ERA over 4 now, and he's getting hurt by the home run ball in this spot. And the Cardinals' bats have been cold here over the past 7, hitting 190. All right, we'll continue on here on Tony's Picks Morning Show as we're getting ready here for the next series of games. We're going to get to it here in just a second. All right, let's get to the next games. All right, we're going to be looking here at this slot. Rays and Guardians. Interesting one here with Dodgers and Braves. Athletics and White Sox. Interesting line. Let's do some, Rod.
And you look at this. We'll go look at the Tampa Bay Cleveland game. Zach Little getting the start for Tampa Bay in that one. And you look over his last few starts, 2-3 with a 2.55 ERA. Yeah, I had that one little blip against Minnesota where he gave up 4. Other than that, he's been solid. Goes about 5 innings. Maybe gives up 1 run. 0 to 1 run. He's got a 1.4 ERA over his last 5. So definitely pitching well. But against Cleveland, he went 6 innings last time out earlier in July. Gave up 6 hits, 1 earned run, a couple walks, and a home run in a 4-2 loss to the Guardians in that one. And on the other side, you get Tanner Bybee on the mound for the Guardians. And he's been solid his last few starts. His lone start that we've seen against Tampa last time out, he went 7 innings, he got 7 hits, only 2 earned runs in that spot. So for me right now, it's this Tampa offense. They struggle. They're not scoring enough runs. And when you're not scoring enough runs, you're just not winning games. So for me in this spot, I think I got to go. I got to back the Guardians at home here in this one against Bybee. But I want to change the run line. I'm going to go with the Guardians' first 5. I think Bybee mows down this Tampa team, and the Guardians have the lead after 5. I would lead to an under 2. I think Lytle and the Tampa bullpen is solid enough to get us an under low-scoring game there. Then the other one in this spot that I like, Oakland taking on the White Sox. And we got, who is the Basu? Brady Basu is getting the start here for Oakland. He's made a few starts. He's a reliever, right? So the reliever turned to a starter. They started him last game against Detroit. And you know what? He looked pretty good in that start. He went, how many innings? It was 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs. Looked real good against Detroit in that start for Oakland. So I'm going to go with the under. We know the White Sox bats haven't been crushing the ball out of the park. And with Crochet on the mound, I think he can have a half-decent start. So give me the under 8 in that one, Oakland and the White Sox. And then what we went to was Dodgers in Atlanta.
All right, back with you here. It looks like an internet issue there, but we're back here with you guys here on the live show.
All right, you're back. So then I don't want to jump a slot. So we went to Tampa, Cleveland, Oakland, White Sox, Dodgers Atlanta.
Yep, Dodgers Atlanta.
Dodgers Atlanta. All right. So looking at that one, big battle between those two teams there. And you look, Atlanta Knack getting the start for the Dodgers in that one. And you know what? Knack hasn't been bad over his last 3 starts. 1-0, 3 ERA on the road this season. 1-0 with a 3 ERA. So, a few there. The scary part is that Dodgers bullpen. So if you like the Dodgers, take them first 5 in that one. But this is one of those battles. And Schwellenbach, you've seen Schwellenbach have some good starts, but then we've seen him have some bad starts as well. His last couple starts, he's 0-1 with a 2.93 ERA. At home, he's got a 4 ERA. So both these starters can give up some runs, but then when it comes to the bullpen, there's a huge mismatch between Atlanta and the Dodgers. The Dodgers bullpen's been getting worked while Atlanta's been pitching lights out in the bullpen. So you know what? I think we got a lower scoring one here. I like the under 8.5 between these two. I think Schwellenbach can go 5-6 innings. Atlanta can go 5-6 innings. And then, you know what? Surprisingly, I think the Dodgers bullpen can hold their own in this first game. Maybe later on in the series, it might come back to bite them, but give me the under in that one.
From Rado, it's okay. I'll tell you what I think about these games here in this slot. Rays and Guardians. Zach Littell is on a contract year. He's a converted reliever. So when he came to the Rays, they said, okay, you're going to be a starting pitcher for us. And we know the difference now between starting pitching money and relief money. That's a huge discrepancy now that we've seen here, the way they've just been having these relievers go 1 or 2 innings and playing the opener game. So Littell wants to start. Okay, Littell, we're to hit down the stretch. You're on a contract year. You want that starter's money, you better close strong. And he has over his past 6 starts, ERA 1.99, whip of 1.11. Bybee over his past 4, ERA near 5, dealing with control issues. And over the past 7, Cleveland hitting just 232. I'll take that. That worked yesterday. I'll take the plus money again here with Tampa Bay in this one. Dodgers and Braves. The Knack is up on the mound. My Sharona, the Knack. Knack here, 8 ERA over 4. Schwellenbach's pitched well over his past 8 ERA under 3. It comes down to the battle of the bullpens here, right? The Braves, we've done this over and over with the Braves bullpen. Look at this past 10 game, 0.96. That's the reason why the Braves have a shot at the postseason with all their injuries and a lot of young pitchers in here. Is that bullpen has just been fabulous here. And of course, if you've been playing under with Braves, you've been making money. But in this one, I'm gonna go Atlanta in this spot. It's just, again, I'm just thinking it's to late stages. I just give the edge here to Atlanta with that bullpen. And of course, Brady Basso for Oakland here appeared in 4 games. The line, I'm going to say the line looks pretty short, but it's for a White Sox game, right? That's the funny thing.
What the
White Sox are 2-28 in their past 30 games, really showing no signs of life. And believe it or not, when Oakland's favored between even money and minus 150, they're 7-2. They are 7-2 when they're favored like this. So I'll look here at the Oakland Athletics in that spot. Okay, let me go ahead. I think during that little interruption of my internet, I had my line service disconnected. So let me get my line service there connected so we can get into so I give Rod the right games here as we move forward here on the morning show, guys. Remember, we're with you here every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so you're with us live when we give out these plays. And I scoop this one up. All right, well, I'm just going to have to do this old school style. I'm just going to have to look at my write-ups here to see where we're at. All right, we're going to go next year's games, Rod. Reds, Twins, Rockies, Cubs, Astros, Angels.
And looking at Reds in Minnesota here, you look Aguilar's getting the start for the Reds in this one. And you know what? He hasn't been bad. Definitely give it to him. The Reds have won all 5 of his starts that he's started so far with the Reds. He's been lights out, pitching real well. He hasn't given up. He had that one little blip against Oakland where he gave up 6, but other than that, it's been 2 runs, no runs, going between 4 and 6 innings of work for Julian Aguilar for the Reds. But on the other side of the bump has been Brady Ober. And Ober at home, I believe he's 7-1 his last 8 starts for the Twins at home. He just pitches his best baseball at home. 7-2 on the year, 3.8 ERA for Bailey Ober. His last couple starts, he has been touched up, but this looks like one of those spots that I like it under, actually. 8.5. I think Ober goes good, and Aguilar can go 4 or 5 innings, and we get it under. But I got to go with the Twins in the run line. I think they beat up on the Reds late in that one. Ober, just for some reason, they get up and they play for him and give him plenty of run support, and he gets the win at home. So go with the Twins there. And the Cubs versus the Rockies. You know, Colorado got the win yesterday. Surprises some people. Beat Detroit 4-2 in that one. Came in late. We know Skubal did enough as he did as always. Kubu seems to just get those starts where Detroit just doesn't give him enough run support. Same thing happened last time. Colorado got the win, so they're back at home here against the Cubs. But the Cubs have been hot on the road too. Have been the Cubs, so I lean to the Cubs there in that one over the Rockies. What is it? That first game back at home, I think the Rockies don't fare so well that first game back at home. So first game back at home for the Rockies, I'm going to fade the Rockies. You look, the Rockies have lost their last 8 games at Coors Field following a win. So 8 straight losses for the Rockies at home following a win. Give me the Cubs in that one. And Houston and the Angels, well, this one you got Kikuchi on the mound. So the Angels have definitely seen Kikuchi a few times. And the Angels' bats have been hot. They've been hitting. So I think Kikuchi gives up a few. And you look, who's going for the Samuel Aldegari?
Aldegari, yeah. One of the Aldegari, yeah.
Right? So this will be his third start for the Angels. And he's looked pretty good in his first few starts. His first couple starts, he's got a 2.45 ERA. He's went 11 innings of work, 10 strikeouts. Definitely a solid pitcher for the Angels. So for me in that one, I'm going to go with, I think he gets touched up a little. This Houston, having to go against the Houston bats, I think that he can be had. And I think the Astros are like, hey, welcome to the big leagues. Give me the over 8.5 in there for the lead to Houston.
All right, the one how I look at these games here: Reds and Twins. I'm going to go under. Aguilar was one of their really highly touted pitchers leaving spring training. Management had a lot of praise for him. Aguilar's come in, had 5 starts, 1 bad outing. That's what skews his ERA a little bit. We'll look here at Ober. Also has been great here this season. Over at past 9 games, ERA 3.11, low whip of 0.80. Reds bullpen has been pretty good. Reds hitting just 188 over their past 7. The Twins 213. Looking at the Reds here, under and 5 of 6 on the road. I'll go under in that one. Cubs and Rockies. I have to look at the Cubbies in this one. Assad has been pretty solid over his past 10. Garver has been hit up here over his past 5. ERA 8.5. If it is Garver, just want to make sure there's been no other pitcher taken. Yep, Garver's in the. Yep, Garver's been roughed up here big time heading down the stretch. Both bullpens in good form, but Chicago does hit left-handers, and Chicago on the road has won 20 of 30 at plus 14-year return. I'll look at the Cubbies in that one. Astros and the Angels. I'll probably look Houston run line in that spot. The bullpen in good form here for Houston. It's looking at the Astros. Their bats have gone off here over their past 7 games, hitting 271. And the Astros here, past 31 at home, 20 and 11 of the run line, returning 8.5 units. So I'll look at the Astros run line in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show, here with you every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. All right, let's get to the final 3 from this card from Major League Baseball. Running out of weekends in baseball.
Yep,
Yep, we are. So we'll close out. Pretty good matchup here. I really like this time for probably the best 3 games of the slot that we covered here. Brewers, D-backs, Rangers, Mariners, Padres, Giants.
Yeah, definitely some pitchers dueling going on here in this one. Milwaukee taking on Arizona. Peralta on the mound. You know what, Peralta, he had a little bump there in his in this season. You look at his last couple, he's definitely given up a few runs, but his little blip was a few games back where he gave up 4 runs. He definitely had a little rough stretch, but I think he's turned it around. Against the Rockies last time out, he went 4 innings. He did get hit up by the Rockies in that one. So he's had his issues, but for me and the Brewers, when Freddie's on the mound, they just seem to hit more. So I lean to the Brewers there. For me, it's more of a fade of Rodriguez. You look at Rodriguez, I think he's had some luck. Let's put it that way. The start of his season was definitely lucky that he didn't get rocked in a few games, like we've seen his last 2 starts, where he's made 4 innings. He's given up 14 hits, 5 walks, 7 earned runs, and a home run. Mind you, it was against the Dodgers and the Astros, but he's not the greatest pitcher. Let's put it that way. And what's been covering up that he hasn't been the greatest pitcher is that Arizona offense has been lights out. So that covers up a multitude of sins for Rodriguez. Full regression. And at a coin flip price, give me the Brewers in that one. And look who's back for Texas, making his first start of the season since. So we got DeGrom on the mound, making his first start, and it's DeGrom. So for me, I'm just gonna blindly take Texas. Seattle, I don't see a starter for Seattle going, and we know that Seattle bullpen.
I think it's Emerson Hancock. I think it's Emerson. Let me see if it's still probable. Yeah, expected Emerson Hancock, expected starter.
Yeah, it's Seattle got the loss yesterday. They did have the lead. Texas actually surprisingly got to that bullpen and took the lead and won that game. It wasn't Rocker who got the win. Rocker looked good. He definitely he was mowing guys down. 7 strikeouts in that game in the
4 innings.
So he looked solid for his first start. And with DeGrom on the mound, I don't think they're going to throw DeGrom in there unless he's ready to go. And when I remember seeing DeGrom, he just pitches and just deals, more dealing. So I got to go with Texas there. You're going to give me – I see why they're favored in that spot because they wouldn't have put DeGrom out there unless he was ready to go. So I would lean to an under, but I like Texas there in that spot. And you know what? I'm going to go with the Giants. Cease has not looked good over his last few. He's been getting roughed up. Look at last time out. 4 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, 3 runs, 2 runs. He hasn't given up less than 2 runs in 6 straight. So he's been getting work. He's like, again, that's one of those spots where the Padres give him enough run support that they still get the win 7-5, 8-3, 6-3. So Cease can still give it the runs, but I don't think that the Padres get enough on Logan Webb to be able to get the win in that one. Cease gets handed the L. The Giants get the win with Logan Webb on the mound.
All right, I'll tell you what I think about these games here. If it's Hancock going for Seattle, then I would look Seattle's way. Hancock's allowed 200 runs or fewer in 6 of his past 8. It's the Rangers bullpen that's has me worried here. Over their past 10, ERA 5.5. And, I think it was Jorge that said that they made a change to the hitting coach for Seattle. And you know what? They're hitting the ball. I had to wait and see, but over the past 7, 284. And Texas against winning teams this year has been rough for them on the road. 16-30 against winning teams, losing 10 units. So I'll look at Seattle in that spot. In the Padres and the Giants, look at the Padres side. They've won 20 of 30 on the road. Cease has had issues, but you look at Webb over his past 3 starts, 13 earned runs in 17 innings, and he's not missing a lot of bats. And that's what concerns me here. If you're pitching to high contact, you're facing these Padres bats that can smash. That's what I got to be worried here about Webb at this point. Both bullpens in good form. We know the Padres can hit on the road, hitting 277. And Brewers in Arizona, what's the trend right now? Over on this Arizona team, man. This team has been an over machine. And, of course, you love to see when you see Eduardo Rodriguez up there and the Arizona bullpen, which hasn't been as good as they were last year this time of the season. And funny, it's been a role reversal. Ryan Nelson pitching good. Everybody else, so-so. That's what we're seeing here at the end. The D-backs here, and Ryan Nelson trying to pitch well so he can pitch in the postseason. They may not make the postseason. They're gonna have to still work. They got work to do here. Peralta, past 2 starts, did allow those 6 runs. He's going to face a Arizona hitting team that's hitting 277 at home, 20-7 to the over the past 27. A huger trend when you factor in the road games in there as well. But I'm just looking at the home games where they've been smashing like the over in that one again. All right, we got you through Major League Baseball. Now it's time to turn our attention over to the W. Rod's got videos over at Tony's Picks from the W. We'll get some plays from here on the show, Rod. It looks like we're going to get, 5 games today here for the W.
Yeah, 5 games on the docket here in the W, and we'll just give you a little quick rundown of what the W's got going. You look, we're down to the battle for that 8th position. You look at the Sky, they've got 13 wins. The Dream, 12 wins. And this Washington Mystics team, 12 wins. They're 1 game back of the Sky. And the Sky, well, we'll look at that game first. They're taking on Minnesota, and that line's skyrocketed to 13. When I gave out the video, it was at 11 for the Lynx, and now it's gone up, which makes me look at things for the Sky, meaning we know that Reese is out for the season, but also they've got issues with Diamond DeShields on the Sky as well. She's dealing with an injury. She's questionable for this start. And with that line moving up to 13, I think that she's not going to be playing in this game for the Sky. So I like the under there in that one. The under head-to-head 4-0-1 the last 5. The Sky without those 2 players in there are going to be tough, and hard rest to score enough points. So we've seen the total at 157. It's down to 156. Still like it. Take the under 156 there. And then the biggest battle on the board is this back-to-back swap between the Mystics and the Dream. These 2 teams, as I said, they're one game back in the Sky. They play here on Friday night, and then they go play on Sunday against each other. So big matchup there. And you know what? You look at this Washington team, and look, they're trying to bait you into Washington. 4.5 points versus the Dream. They split the season series so far this year. When I did the video, it was 1.5 for Atlanta. So everybody's been jumping on Atlanta with good reason. You look at Ryan Howard for Atlanta. What has she done? She has scored 30-plus points in the last 3 starts, and she's shooting 46%. She's basically taking this Dream team on her back and going, we're going to will ourselves into the playoffs. Dream 6-0 ATS following a loss. So for me, they lost that last one out in overtime to the Fever. I think the Dream bounced back here in this one. I know Washington, everybody sees Washington Mystics 22-8-2 versus the Dream, and now they're going to give you 4.5 points. Not fooling this guy. I'll lay it with the Dream there in that one. It'll be a close tight game because it's going to feel like a playoff game in that one. And then the other one that you got battled, we got Dallas in the second half of a back-to-back, right? And they're why they're only giving you 9? That like I said in the video, that just questions me. Why is it only 9? They were getting 11.5, 12 yesterday against the Liberty, and now they're facing a Seattle team that the offense is hot. But Seattle's on the road. Did they really give a hoot about this game? Nah, I don't think so. I would lean to an under because I think we got a slower pace one on. But I'm going to go with Dallas plus the 9. I think this is the spot that you can see the Dallas didn't even try yesterday. They just handed it to the Liberty. They scored 67 points in that one. They didn't even there was no effort there. So I think the effort is here. They were looking at this going, you know what? We got a chance to beat Seattle. We can beat Seattle outright. Seattle is not that good. So the biggest, so give me Dallas plus the 9 there.
There you go. From Rob. Okay.
The other one in the spot, you got to look Vegas and Indy. I cannot not talk about Vegas and Indy. You look Vegas and Indy. Vegas, these 2 teams just played. Vegas got the win. They showed, hey, we are the champs. This is what it is. Vegas looks like they're headlong. They're in a battle trying to hold down that 4th spot. Most likely playing Seattle in that first round. The battle for that 6th spot where the Fever are. The big battle is for that 2nd and 3rd spot because you don't want to end up in 3rd. That 3rd seed, guess what? You're going to draw in and face Caitlin Clark in the playoffs in that one. So between the Lynx and the Sun, huge battle there too. Who's going to end up with that 3rd seed? Most likely, it's looking like the Sun are going to end up in that seed because the Lynx, well, look, they play the Sky in this one, and then the Sun play the Mercury. So it's looking to be a battle down the stretch. Both teams have 4 games remaining down the stretch. This one tonight with the Aces, you know what? I'm going to take Indy here plus the 5 points. You look at that last matchup that they just faced each other. The Aces did get the win, but Caitlin Clark shot awful. I think it was one of the worst shooting performances I've seen from her in a game in a while. And that was the difference. You think she makes a couple more of those buckets and it's a lot closer. It's not like the Aces blew them out of the gym. They were right there hanging tough. And I think you look at the Aces on off of 1 day's rest, 7-19 ATS, their last 26 off of 1 day's rest. Well, you look at the Fever, they love to play off of 1 day's rest because they're 18-6 ATS, their last 24 off of 1 day's rest. So you're going to give me 5 with the Fever in this one? I'll take it. I think it's down to 4.5 in spots with good reason. Give me the Fever plus the points. I think they come out and say, hey, don't forget about us. I know you beat us that last one, but hey, we had a bad shooting night. And they definitely can hang with the Aces. I watched that game from beginning to end, and it was a good one. Expected another good one tonight.
All right, you got through the card there from Ron. The game I like here. I'm going to go over in the Sun and Mercury. The Sun played at a fast pace, and the Mercury here since the Olympic break gave up 104 points per 100 possession. I'll take over in that one between the Sun, and the Mercury. All right, we'll continue here on the morning show. Now it's time for our parlay and peripheral segment. We'll go over to Rob.
So for me, my little parlay segment today, we're going to go with take the Yankees on the run line, take the Blue Jays first 5, and then we're going to take ULV and Kansas over the 57.5. Parlay those 3 up today. Little mix for Jays for you.
All right, I'll give you a 3-teamer for me. I'll give Kansas State with Brewers, D-backs over, and the Padres there in a 3-teamer. All right, Rod, now we'll take a look here, head into a big weekend. What do you have going on over at Tony's Picks?
And over at Tony's Picks, it's Steak Friday, so definitely head on over, grab that 5-pack. I got some MLB in there, got some WNBA, and got some college football. And as I said already, this weekend, I'm going to have probably 22 plays between college football and NFL. That's not including any MLB, any WNBA plays in there as well. So definitely the best way to go is grab that 3-day pass. Or even better yet, take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional and pair me and Tony up and have yourself a wonderful money-making weekend between the both of us, put money into your pocket. Best way to go. 2-for-1 capper promotional with me and Tony.
That's right. Get on board, guys. Got a best bet on board right now for Major League Baseball. Another premium up there for you. Heading to a big weekend. You know, it's Friday. A lot of you guys like that 3-day all sports pass. Got the Friday, Saturday, Sunday action in there. And get in that. We get those plays in Sunday. Then you get the Monday games too as well. So good time to get on board with that 3-day pass. And it's again, it's a lot less per pick when you buy the long-term passes. So 3-day pass here on the weekend with all this MLB, college football, NFL, W in there mixed in as well. So get on board here on that 3-day pass. You've got me there with that 3-day pass. So get on board. Remember the link to our site's in the description. So go ahead and get signed up. All right, Rob, before we go here, any closing thoughts?
Definitely, everybody crush the books. Have yourself a big winning weekend, and let's get it. I'm excited for this weekend of sports action. Definitely, I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. My little closing thoughts. We're in trouble. Yeah, I'm not. That's not the answer. We've seen it. He looked awful. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. The defense doesn't look good. The offense. You even look at the Tyreek Hill was chatting with Waddle, and they put the thing there, and they looked at each other going, I don't know. I really don't know. They're shaking the heads, going, what's going on? And I can't believe we extended a contract to that coach. What was he thinking at the end of that first half? I really don't know. I honestly don't know. It looked like we were trying to run out the clock. You were down 24 to 10 and looking awful. I don't know what you were doing. You were actually, it was 24-7 at that time. 24-7 down at that time. Less than a minute. You knew the second half starts, you're kicking it to Buffalo. And so you need to get points. You need a touchdown at that point if you want to make it a game. And I don't know what he was doing. Just all over the place. No clock management. Just a mismatch. It's awful. This coach is awful. We're in trouble. I'm sorry. As an Dolphins fan, I'm going to start wearing a paper bag until we get rid of that guy because he is awful. I'm with Mitch. I think he said that too, but awful. Oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
When things are going well, you can see the difference in personality when things are going well, when things are going bad. He just looks there so sad. He's got that sad look on his face.
Yeah.
The mopey. He's got that mopey look on him. That doesn't. No, you're a leader.
That didn't work. What happened?
Yeah.
Why didn't that work?
Well, I know. He had a huge injury disadvantage. And I think going into the game, he knew that, right? I think the players play off your body language. It's just like, from the get-go. Yeah, he's had some bad injury luck during training camp. We know that coming into the season. But in today's game, missing your running backs. But you can't show it you can't show it. This guy just has a body language that's just, down like a down.
Yeah, you got to get your team up for a matter. Even with you got some injuries, next man up. Come on, let's go. We can got this. This is a divisional game. You got to get up for these games. There was no get up, and I knew it. That's why I took the Bills. It was just I knew there was no get up from this Dolphins team. It's rough. Yeah. We got all the talent in the world, and we need a Belichick in there to get these guys to play.
Yeah, if not for that fumble by Jacksonville in the end zone, we could be looking at 0-2.
Easily 0-2. How we are 1-1? We'll take it, but going forward, it's not looking pretty.
Nope,
we need a QB.
Yep, QB needed. All right, guys, we're going to let you guys go. Anyway, goodbye, guys. Make it a winning day today. We're back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time here on the 26 Morning Show with a lot of college football tomorrow.